everyone, and welcome to Booming Encore's Learning Bites. My name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. And some of you may be aware, but this year I've got a real incentive to try and adapt a longevity lifestyle. Along with this, I'm going to hopefully get in great shape, and I'm also going to try some extreme personal challenges. So I knew I needed some help to actually get going on this. And so I'm delighted to introduce to you Shannon Bond as my fitness and performance coach related to my adaptation of my new longevity lifestyle. And he's joining me today to talk about the importance of sleep. This was one of the things that Shannon emphasized right from the start of when I started the program. And so I wanted to bring him on and have a discussion about sleep and the importance of it as it relates to both aging and our longevity. So welcome, Shannon. Great to see you.
Thank you, Susan. Thanks for having me.
So why don't we just dive right in? First of all, why is sleep so important to our health?
Okay, so sleep is super important for our health for a range of different factors, but essentially the better sleep and the higher quality of sleep that we have throughout our life, the longer we're going to live and the higher quality of life we're going to achieve. So I have a few slides set up to kind of go over everything in a little bit more detail, make it easier to see. So yeah, as you can see here, understanding the crucial role of our life. So sleep is super important for regulating our metabolism. So when you get really bad sleep, your metabolism actually suffers and it can actually make it harder to lose body fat. In addition to that, when you get bad sleep, leptin decreases and ghrelin increases. So leptin is like the hormone responsible for making you feel fuller and decreasing the appetite. And ghrelin is the hormone responsible for increasing your hunger. So when you get bad sleep, these things, they kind of like a domino effect, and it's just sticking to a meal plan or a diet 10 times harder. Sleep also affects whether your body burns fat or muscle while on a diet. So if your sleep's really bad, you can actually be burning off muscle rather than fat when you're sleeping. So yeah, it's really insanely important to get sleep on point for a range of factors. And also when you're stressed, increases your cortisol, which goes in your bloodstream, and that can lead to more stress, but also weight gain as well.
And sleep's really also extremely important as it relates to aging and our longevity as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. So sleep and longevity, if you can see in the chart here, risk of all-cause mortality or risk of death and sleep duration. When you have 4 or 5 hours sleep per night, you actually have a higher risk of all-cause mortality. Getting regular sleep and higher quality sleep, it's important to distinguish between length of sleep and quality of sleep as well. But men can actually add up to 5 years to their life just by getting quality sleep, and women can add up to 2 years of their lifespan. Also while improving their health and their overall well-being. But one thing I found really interesting was you can actually have too much sleep and that'd be bad for you as well. So as you can see here, after like 9 to 10 hours per night of sleep, when you get to the 10 hours, actually skyrockets your risk of all-cause mortality up to 25%.
Wow.
However, I don't think many of us are getting 10 hours sleep per night, so I don't think that applies to most people.
And the type of sleep we get is also critical, is it not?
Yeah, so you want to be having a certain amount of deep sleep and light sleep as well, REM, things like that. So a lot of the executives I work with, we do sleep tracking. We test actually through certain apps or health apps and test the quality of the sleep that they're getting throughout the night. A lot of people, even if you do get 7-8 hours of sleep per night, without actually knowing how much of that is REM sleep, how much of that is in light sleep, how many times you're waking up throughout the night. It makes a huge difference for your energy levels the next day and for your longevity.
For sure. I know that since we started working together, I've started tracking my sleep. And I really started to notice the days that I didn't get as much sleep, I just didn't seem as motivated as when I did get the sleep. And like you said, it's the quality of the sleep that was so important. And I'm just now so much more aware of that.
Well, that's awesome. And you probably notice your mood as well when you have really bad sleep. It's just like everything kind of falls apart. Sleep's like the main pillar when it comes to health. That's how I feel. The nutrition and the training is super important, obviously, as well. But without the sleep, it's going to be really hard to stick to a nutrition plan because you're tired and like we talked about the hormones and the cortisol. But additionally, if you're not sleeping consistently well, your training and your exercise are going to suffer. Your mood's going to be low. You're going to be cranky, and you're going to have much less motivation to actually get to the gym or go outside and go for a walk or exercise in any way. So
You're actually showing us the amount of sleep. And it's interesting because, like, as you see, it starts to decline as you get older. And I don't think a lot of people actually realize that.
yeah, so when we're really young, when we're born, we need a lot of sleep. Like the baby's sleeping a lot, waking up throughout the day. Once we get to the young adult years, 18 to 25 years old, ideally we want to be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And adults 26 to 64, which will probably be a lot of your audience. 7 to 9 hours sleep is ideal. And when you get older, 65 plus, 7 to 8 hours is ideal.
That's good to know. Now, what are some good sleep habits that we can actually, start ourselves to help us get set up for a decent night's sleep?
So having a sleep routine, like sleep hygiene, super important. So like a consistent sleep schedule. One strategy I've been using with my clients a lot is because people I work with, they're super busy, they're business owners, they're running companies and they're working crazy hours. So a lot of the time it's not feasible to actually have a set bedtime every night because of how crazy their schedule is. But what we found is having a set wake up time every single morning helps massively in terms of getting that daily kind of routine in place. So even if they're not going to bed at the same time every night, if they're waking up at the same time every day, at least that gets their body into a little bit of a proper schedule. So it will start getting tired around the same times every night. Having said that, having a set bedtime and wake up time would be more ideal, but sometimes life gets in the way and it just doesn't happen. But you can always control what time you wake up. Sometimes you can't control what time you go to bed due to family or sleep or so, like, work and business and things like that, deadlines you might have to meet. So yeah, having that consistent sleep schedule, especially the wake up schedule, a relaxing bedtime routine. So making sure that your room's really dark, making sure you have a comfortable pillow, a comfortable bed. Investing in a comfortable bed is one of the best investments you can make in your life because, we spend like a third of our life in bed asleep. So it's worth investing that little bit of extra money to have that extra comfortable bed. Also, what I've found has helped a lot with myself and with some of my clients is wearing like those like eye masks, really, that block out all the light. Because even if you're trying to sleep in your room, even if there's a tiny bit of light creeping in from, say, like the moonlight or something from outside, if your curtains aren't dark enough, that can actually affect your sleep as well, and that can actually make it harder to fall asleep. So having like the eye mask helps a lot as well, and managing like screen time, caffeine, alcohol. Alcohol actually can prevent you from getting into deep sleep. So having the alcohol before bed is going to affect your sleep quality massively. Obviously, caffeine. Try not to have caffeine at least 6 hours before you go to sleep, which make it a lot easier to fall asleep. And managing screen time as well, like blue light. Try not to be on your phone in bed. Try not to be on your laptop right before you go to bed.
Is TV considered screen time?
Yes. Yes. So it's still blue light if you have a TV in your room and you're trying to fall asleep with the TV on, or even if you do fall asleep and the TV's on and that light is in the room, that's going to affect your quality of sleep and getting into deep sleep.
No, some very good tips. And it's something I think that we all need to really take a good look at. As you mentioned, I mean, sleep can truly affect our lives, not only how that day actually progresses, but actually the quality of our life long term and our longevity. So thank you so much for sharing this with us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Susan. Thanks for having me.
And to everybody out there, hope you found this information valuable and it helps you live your best booming encore. Bye for now.